And now you're tuning in to the Women Unplugged podcast.
Hey loves, it's your girl Bougie Candy giving you all the juice and all the tea.
And of course, it's your fly girl EB with a little bit of lifestyle and a lot of fashion.
And I'm IC1 here to open your mind and dive into your spiritual soul.
Yes, ladies, we have how many episodes left? Just one episode left for the season finale. Oh my God, I feel like this season went by so fast.
Bittersweet, man.
What do y'all think?
I was so quick, girl. It was like
Girl,
quicker than a man's orgasm.
yeah, our season ended quicker than what I expected COVID to. You know, the pandemic's still going. Lo and behold, woe and lo.
COVID, I feel like it's never going away. This
Girl,
it's like the flu. Got it.
Loves, please stay tuned for our season finale that's coming up. You do not want to miss this. Mm-hmm. We have some crazy surprises and a chance for you all to win a cash prize. Money. Hey, for the love of. Yes, so ladies, let's dive into the news for the day. And today we're talking about, is cannabis still illegal in Georgia? Now, when I say let's talk about it, we have to talk about Georgia being the most restrictive states for weed, with more than 1 ounce in your possession can potentially lead to a felony charge.
Potentially
Can lead to a felony charge if you are in the possession of over 1 ounce of marijuana, right?
I'd say in most counties definitely is leading to a marijuana charge.
This is kind of insane because Georgia marijuana laws allow only for medical CBD oil or cannabinoid, which is a chemical compound found in marijuana and hemp, with less than 5% of THC. Now, THC, y'all excuse my diction and vernacular on this. It is a tetrahydrocannabinol. Tetrahydrocannabinol. That's the actual medical term for THC, or a scientific term for THC, right? This is the actual component that is in marijuana that gives you that high sensation or feeling. So a lot of times we're under the assumption, or people may be ignorantly under the assumption, that CBD has a high level of THC, or if I smoke CBD or consume CBD. But in reality, no. It's the law that it has to have 5% or less of that THC in the CBD in order for it to be considered legal in Georgia.
Yeah, and most legal is like it's 0.25 or less, honestly. Most medical CBD doesn't have a lot.
Wow, right.
In it.
And it's kind of crazy because Atlanta, Savannah, and a few other cities have decriminalized the possession of up to 1 ounce of cannabis and set penalties at $75 up to $300. But in other states where recreational use is legal already, it is highly unlikely for someone to get pulled over for the possession of cannabis. In fact, there are cannabis companies in those states making bukus of money off of selling recreational and medical uses for cannabis, right?
Absolutely. And it's crazy, you can get a DUI also in the state of Georgia if you get pulled over,
right?
And they find it in your possession, which I think is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, they still consider being high under the THC influence as being driving under the influence of drugs or marijuana, pretty much.
Most places that's like a minimum of 5 years probation. So like, you take your license. All kinds
so, ladies,
stuff.
Why are Georgia laws so strict when it comes to recreational use of cannabis versus other states like California, Nevada, or Colorado, in your opinion?
I'm going to say the first thing is because it's still a southern white state, and they want to make sure that they can capitalize on the people that use it, the people that have it and may not have it legally. And they got it in their car and they want to capitalize on those folks. So they fine with that because they got money in other places.
Right.
That's how I feel.
I will agree, coming from Kennesaw. If you guys know anything about Georgia, Cobb County is one of the richest counties in not just Georgia but in the nation. They're up there as far as like money, and they I mean, they'll arrest you for just about anything.
Yeah, Cobb is definitely one of the more stricter counties.
And that's so crazy because like moving here, people, they told me about Paulding County, Cobb
Clayton.
County.
And they'll let you know about Cobb
Clayton
County.
And they're like, Arian,
Don't drive
you better be careful out there.
Right.
Now. It's driving while black.
Right. And
so yeah.
So for me, like, I did a lot of research, and I specifically only looked in Fulton and DeKalb County because I think Atlanta or Fulton County had already decriminalized marijuana.
Yeah.
And DeKalb County was in the process of decriminalizing. Okay. So I like to see I'm living in a county or in an area that's moving in the right progressive direction.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm agreeing with you, EB, where it's a capitalism thing. You want to be there. I feel like they have generated a lot of money off of penalizing and incarcerating people for the possession of something that they have deemed illegal, where like now it's like, okay, unless I've created a system that's going to replace the money that I will lose from legalizing it, I'm not going to legalize it. And that there's a certain number or stigma or a pattern that we see with the number of people who are incarcerated for non-violent offenses, marijuana, compared to more major serious crimes.
Hello.
So that's why I feel like you have such an urge to decriminalize it. But outside of, like a few states like California, Nevada, Colorado, I don't really see like those states like Georgia specifically who have such a stronghold on, I guess, certain income in certain revenue areas, really trying to push towards that being legalized until they have something to replace it.
No, I think that once, because I was recently in New York, and I know we're not talking about New York, but I have a friend that owns a glassware shop in New York, and he was saying that there's a lot of undercover underage people being sent into these shops in order to bust them. You know what I'm saying? So they have a reason to find the business and put them out of business temporarily, whatever. And
fines for businesses are very expensive depending on the fine. I'm like
10, 20, 30.
Think about your typical personal fine or your typical driving citation or something. And then these, like you said, these corporate or these business fines are even higher. So it can be very costly to try to stay in operation when you get these.
I think that there's got to be a lot of things that happen in the world, well, not in the world, I guess, but in the legal realm, I guess, of the cannabis world, before we start seeing real change. Because right now, legally, you can have like maybe an ounce in your possession, right, as a citizen of Georgia or whatever. But it has to be, if you have it on you, it has to be concealed. Like,
right, cannot be prepackaged.
It cannot be prepackaged, and it has to be concealed, and like you can't have paraphernalia still. There's still like so many other things that like it
can still pin you up,
and still put you in a lot of trouble for a long time. And these charges are like not little charges. Not like you're going to jail for a couple of days, you get out and whatever, you pay a fine. It's like you're going to jail and possibly sitting in jail for 30, 60, 90 days, so you can go to trial, go to court, whatever, blah blah blah, for whatever. You got a grinder sitting underneath your car seat.
Right. Not to mention you getting a record for something that would be a petty offense or misdemeanor, but that will follow you and prohibit you from getting employment depending on where you're applying to.
And that just makes me think about the word control. Like clearly it is all about control. Once you see in some of those states that they regulate that, that sometimes they don't have like much control in a sense, because even in Michigan it's legal there, and you see shops on top of shops on top of shops, so you can't really control it in a sense. Right. Georgia wants to be able to still hold that control.
Why would you want to? You're talking about something that's been proven to be not just like recreationally fun, but like medically
wise. Yes,
it has its own value in our society.
Yes,
I feel like there's no reason that a cannabis shop shouldn't be as common as a pharmacy.
Correct.
Period. Then I can absolutely go and buy some marijuana, which is a plant that grows out of the ground that you control, whether or not I can grow it in the first place. Sir, why is it any of your business what plants I have in my house in the first place outside of
control?
Control. Period. That's all it is.
So Karen O'Keefe, state policies director for the Marijuana Policy Project told Marijuana Moment, cannabis is used as a pretext for thousands of police stops that happen daily in communities of color. Removing cannabis as a justification for police interaction is a reform urgently needed to address systematic racism and abusive policing.
So one time I will say thank you, Karen.
Yes.
Shout
Thanks
out
to the Karens
to
for the
Karen.
first time ever. You know, but one thing that I will say about that statement is this is kind of hitting on what we were just talking about. Them wanting to, like, what if you have a mass population or a populace of people who consume this recreationally on a daily basis,
period.
Wouldn't you would think it would make more money and more sense if you legalize it rather than you trying to mass incarcerate or attach some type of negative action to it, something that I feel like you can make more money off of on the capitalistic side. But I guess if you're looking at it on a mass incarceration side,
Yeah, I think she made a really important point there where she was saying that they're using it as a pretext for pulling people over in minority communities, because it's not something that's just for minority. I know a lot of white people that smoke marijuana. I know a lot of people that consume it regularly. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just a young.
it's not a color thing.
It's not a color thing. It's not an age thing.
Yeah,
It's like everybody
I agree.
smokes pot. So the fact that there's more black people or Asian or Hispanic people in jail for marijuana charges over white people is clearly, systematic.
It's
clearly systematic oppression, because you're talking about something that literally everybody uses. I've seen it. People from all ages, races, walks of life, whatever, try it, use it on a regular basis, buy it, whatever.
But then again, it's nonviolent, so that's one thing for me. And then again, it's more, if we're really going to look at the organic compound or the health factor of it, this is a more natural, holistic, or a better approach than us taking these pharmaceutical remedies or treatments. Like, it's so much, for the states where it is legalized and it is being mass produced, you have a lot of genetically modified marijuana coming out now. So it's starting to be one of those things where it's like you do want to have it legalized and you do want to have it monitored. Yeah. But then with the government intervening more so, it's like, is it going to create more genetically modified strains? Is it going to really going to be a healthier option over time? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Or is it something that they're going to do like every other market that they have mass produced? Is it something that's going to be like a quantity over quality type thing?
So let me tell you, marijuana is like weave, it's so many strands.
Right.
You don't know where it's coming from.
They naming it this and that, and it ain't really this and that.
You know what
I'm saying?
You got that kinkle.
They putting stuff together. They taking stuff
out. Like growing their own.
That's why it always goes back to control. You know, like in those states that they're very successful, it is hard for them to have somewhat control. But statistically, they have seen financially that it works for those states.
Yes, it has.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I would say
the weave is equivalent to the marijuana.
The different types, the cannicola.
Yeah. No, I would say that goes back to, I think that there's still a lot that legally needs to happen in the cannabis community before we get to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many people. I should be able to grow plants at my house. If I am absolutely in love with aloe, I can have an aloe plant the size of my entire living room. If I love marijuana, let me grow my freaking marijuana.
Yeah. Great fact. Well,
I'm not selling it to anybody. Why do I want to share my plans?
Right. And that's the thing. Well, Georgia chooses to continue wasting resources, citing, arresting, and prosecuting marijuana offenders instead of turning Georgia into one of the most profitable states in the country with marijuana sales by approving recreational usage.
Profitable and progressive.
I'm telling you, with the Atlanta metropolis, I have to agree with this. I love you, Georgia, but to put your money where your mouth is and pass the law, respectfully, would probably be the best thing.
Respectfully.
Respectfully.
...
No, truly.
thank you, loves and supporters, for tuning in today. And of course, thank you, Brittany Angelica, for visiting your new homegirls.
Boss lady was good.
Y'all better check her out on Instagram
Please.
at Brittany Angelica, and that's Brittany with the ANY, or at her business, skincare_Cannabe.
Yes.
You can book your skincare treatment any day on her website,
Today.
CannabeSkinSpa.com. She has products for you to order as well. Don't forget to get her product now, okay?
Support the black owned now.
We gotta support.
You need that good skincare
Our
anyway.
next show is our season finale.
So bitter.
And our 1 year anniversary, so you don't want to miss the party, honey, okay?
No, you don't.
Tuesday, March 16th, mark your calendars. It's going to be our 1 year anniversary and our finale. Don't forget, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Women Unplugged _ and you can watch our videos on YouTube or our website at womenunpluggedent.com.
Yes.
Now, we love you, and we will see you soon, baby.
Bye, everyone.
Love you guys.
Love y'all.